Today, we will introduce the memory depth of an oscilloscope, which refers to the number of waveform points that the oscilloscope can store in a single trigger acquisition. It reflects the storage capacity of the acquisition memory. The relationship between memory depth, sampling rate, and sampling time satisfies the following equation. From the formula, it can be inferred that under the same sampling time, the higher the memory depth, the higher the sampling rate. Under the same sampling rate, the higher the memory depth, the longer the sampling time. As far as current information is concerned, the greater the memory depth, the better. Next, we will learn about a concept of waveform capture rate, also called waveform refresh rate, which is the number of times the oscilloscope captures waveforms per second. The unit is the number of waveforms per second. When the oscilloscope stores a certain number of points, the oscilloscope will analyze these points. During the analysis of these times, the oscilloscope cannot capture the waveform, which is also the dead time of the oscilloscope. Here, we find that the deeper the memory depth is, the longer the signal needs to be processed, and the longer the corresponding dead time will be, which will reduce the waveform capture rate on the premise that ceteris paribus remain unchanged. Therefore, deep storage will bring some negative effects, such as reducing the waveform capture rate, reducing the response speed, increasing the dead time, and reducing the possibility of capturing rank and abnormal signals. So, when using an oscilloscope, we must flexibly adjust the memory depth to better reproduce the waveform. The memory depth of this oscilloscope can be changed, with a maximum memory depth of 2G and a waveform capture rate of over 500,000 waveforms per second. Open Acquire and click on the Memory Depth menu to select the memory depth. Single channel mode memory depth options automatic 25K 250K 2.5M 25M 50M 100M 250M 500M 2G. Dual channel mode memory depth options automatic 12.5K 125K 1.25M 12.5M 25M 50M 125M 250M 1G. Full channel mode memory depth options automatic 6.25K 62.5K 625K 12.5M 25M 62.5M 125M 500M.